Hey, thank you, Julie Wen, for doing that. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, all colors, all religion, all races, you are now on the Oh Bless, Oh Bless, Oh Bless, let's clean up this mess webinar. The greatest, the best webinar out there, according to me. How you all doing? I hope you're all excited. I hope you're having fun. Real quick, I have a very, very special guest today who's got a very lengthy presentation. He wrote me the whole story. I was actually amazed by it, what he's done. He is going to come on here tonight and he's going to present. It's about an hour, I think, it's 30 minutes long. So it's a long one. So grab your popcorn, grab your pop. You guys know the rules. Don't get naked. Don't go to the bathroom with your camera. Enjoy this webinar. Learn something. Let's show the world what Oh Bless is about. To all the 20 YouTube channels, welcome to everybody that's watching it. We welcome anyone with open arms. And let me introduce the man of the hour, Mr. Bharat. I'm going to say his name wrong, so I'm going to let him introduce himself. Mr. Bharat, can you unmute yourself, please?
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all my brothers and sisters from the globe. We are so fortunate to be meeting up like this. It's all due to On Passive, and my big thank you goes to Mr. Ask Mufari. If it was not him, then wouldn't be here at this platform. It's a global platform, and I'm very fortunate to be talking to you today. Chris, I just would like to correct a small thing. It's not an hour and a half. It's just a minute and a half, actually. Probably I thought there are too many panels today speaking, so it could not be that much long. So is that okay? Can I go?
Hey, that's boy was I off. No, that's fine. We'll have lots of discussion. That's perfect, Bharat. You go ahead. You got your co-host. You know how to share the screen. You can do whatever you like. It's your show, my brother.
Certainly. So my name is Bharat Chetri. I come from a very small town in West Bengal state. It's called Dalsingpada. Most of the people here are tea garden workers. If you are fond of tea, then you might have drunk Darjeeling tea. Actually, we live in the foothills of the Himalayas, and this is where we grow Darjeeling tea. In 2015, we thought of opening a school. In 2013, actually, that's when the construction started. In 2015, we started the school, and the intention was to help the financially unfortunate ones. And in the first year, we got about 50 children, out of which we sponsored about 5 on our own. And then as the years passed by, 2016, we had more enrollments, probably by like 30 of them. And then we strengthened our sponsorship as well. By 2019, we were doing very well. We were almost like 200 students. And then we sponsored about 50 children through the school itself. It was not like we were asking from outside or any help from outside. We were doing it on our own. But then in 2020, when the COVID hit us, it really turned everything upside down for us. And in 2020 and 21, I really appreciate my teachers. They worked tirelessly. They worked actually on 50% of the salary. And certain months, actually, we didn't pay them, and they were fine with that. Most of the parents had lost their jobs. It was very difficult for them to pay fees. At one point, I thought of getting rid of the property. I was on the verge of selling it. But then my friend introduced me to On Passive in 2020, and I joined in February 2021. And as the months progressed, I was learning more and more about OnPassive, the vision and the mission. And it generated hope in us. And here we are in 2023, we opened full-fledged. And now we have almost 200 students. And we are going to spread our wings. So in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you that short presentation. I'll share my screen and then I'll come back to you. Thank you for watching. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Bharat. You want to explain some of those pictures to us? They were absolutely amazing.
Yes, I'll send you the video also later on.
Okay.
Yes, you saw some children. That's the school building. That's the whole ground. You saw them how the classrooms and all the way we teach. It's because in this part of the world, studying in an English medium school is a luxury. So not everybody can afford. That's why we came up with this plan. And as our CEO had mentioned last time, that to think bigger. That's why we're thinking of spreading our wings. Initially, we were only planning to help these children in our locality. But now I think we have to really expand from our town to the nearby towns, and probably to the whole through the whole district, and the state, and eventually maybe the whole country. And who knows, if we are all together as a team, if we work together, probably we will go global, as we have already gone global in the education sector, as well as we want to work on health and medical field as well. We know that the types of health and medical facilities we have, it's very pathetic. And we have seen, especially poor people suffering in hospitals without beds and good medical facilities. That's a huge problem in this part of the world. And the other thing we want to work on is on vocational courses. You see, we want to produce more skillful people, like electricians, all these technical trainings. We want to work on that. And also we want to work for animals, because in this part, all these cattles and pigs and dogs, you'll find everywhere. You'll find them everywhere, loitering and eating plastics, and it's very sad to see. So I would like to thank once again to the world leaders and all my unpassive brothers and sisters for giving me this opportunity. And Chris, thank you very much. And we'll look forward to working together. I think after we launch, I don't think we'll stop there. I think that's where our work starts, after we launch, because we have many miles to go before we sleep. Many miles. Thank you, Chris, once again. Thank you, all leaders. Thank you from India. Namaste.
Namaste, Bharat. Bharat, I was wondering if you could open up share your screen again and talk a little bit about some of those pictures, the kids in the classroom. If you could do that for me, I think we all love the pictures, but I was waiting for some words to come out of your mouth and explain some of that. Can you possibly do that for me?
Okay. Certainly.
Thank you.
Can you see this?
Yes.
Okay, this is our school logo. It's RB Memorial. We put English because it's an English medium school here. There are many mediums of schools like Hindi, Bengali, Nepali. So that's why we put that word. We established in 2015. I'll have to go back and do one by one, I think.
Are these all orphans, Bharat?
No, they are not orphans.
Just kids that.
It's like in total, say initially I got in 2015 I got 50 children.
Right.
I sponsored some of them, like those who were really in need. But then I could not sustain. If I wanted to make it as a charity, then I wouldn't be able to sustain, because charity, it's a lot of work, and governments will be involved. It's very difficult. That's why what I thought was, those who could afford, they would pay the fees, and then with that fees I would help those who could not. That's how I work, so that it would sustain for a very long time. Somehow, Chris, I cannot move this picture. I have to go back for each picture.
Well, let me see. So you're taking taking kids from your areas. You're actually, you built a school for them. Is this what you did?
Yeah, I built the school on my own.
Wow.
And then
are you teaching them like advanced things instead of engineering?
No, these are all mostly elementary classes. We have from grade pre-nursery till 7 for now, and then we are upgrading every year. The same children, they will be upgraded every year. So far from 2015 until now, we have upgraded till grade 7. So our plan is to turn it into a high school. Probably it may take another 3 to 5 years to do that. But then who knows? You see, we never expected on-passive to come, in between. So who knows? We may turn it next year.
What made you want to do all this, Bharat?
As I said, there are so many unfortunate, financially unfortunate. I wouldn't go into the other aspect. I would say financially unfortunate people in this part of the world. They work in tea gardens. How much their salaries is like, I don't know, $40 a month if you convert. So they would never think of sending them to English medium schools. They normally study in government schools, and I don't want to touch that subject. So studying in an English medium school is, as I told you before, it's a luxury here. So we want to chip in and help as many children as we can. And then probably if we have if we have that capacity in future, we'll help them for sponsorship as well, like sending them for further education, higher education, um, producing more professionals like doctors and who knows, maybe pilots and engineers and scientists. We want to do that for the future.
Where do you get your teachers? Where do you get your educators from?
I got my education in an English medium from here only, in India only.
Are you the only teacher, or do you have other teachers assisting you?
No, we have 14.
Wow.
14 teachers, yes.
And they all have different degrees in education?
Yes. They need to have that education background, like a B.Ed or at least teacher training, TTC. That's what we call it. They need to be qualified. Yes.
And I know you've touched on it a couple of times. Tell me where you want to see through on passive with the help of Oh Bless. What do you really want to do with this? How big do you really want it to go?
See, what I've seen is especially the private schools, they're monopolizing education because the fees are so high. I think, people are breaking their bones now to pay the fees. It's very, very tough. It's very, very expensive. So, if Oblast comes into play once we launch, and then, once we are all set to go, then probably not only here in this part, probably we'll have to go further, dig deeper, maybe go around the world and see how we can, as we know, O Academy is also coming. So probably that will be very helpful. So we'll have to work together and see how we can change the quality of education that we are giving now, how we can make it affordable for everybody. It can be anybody from the society, it may be poor, may it be rich, anybody, everybody should get quality education. That's what I'm thinking.
I love the way you think. I can see you in the near future opening up these schools. I don't look at any kind of education as a business. I know we got to pay our educators, and educators in the United States, they don't make a lot of money, believe it or not. And it's sad that we have people teaching the future of the world and they don't pay them peanuts, and we've done this. We've talked about this where they'll play a guy who can catch a ball, shoot a hoop, run a touchdown, millions and millions of dollars, but we pay our teachers pennies on the dollar, which is sad. So I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm loving what I'm seeing. I think from what I'm understanding, you want to give kids over there quality education, cheaper. Now, do you charge? This is all you do, all this for yourself. You pay for all this.
Yes. See, I have like 200 students, out of which I've sponsored about 50 myself. And then I charge, I think in the whole world, my school is the cheapest. I charge $2.50 a month for nursery classes. So that's, I think, the cheapest.
Wow, that is. Well, over here, that's really cheap. I'm not sure if is that a lot of money in India?
No, it's like 200 rupees. So it's, probably for a daily wager, it's like half of his wage. It's 200 rupees is like 2.5. $2.50, and collecting this to pay the teachers, you see. Because 2020-21, it has drained me financially, paying all the teachers from my savings. So I have to collect something for the teachers. Yes.
No, I understand that, Brad. Number one, I commend you for actually keeping it going. I know you've written me a long email. Now, I'm pretty sure your family is involved. You're married. You have a wife?
Yes, my wife. Actually, it's like 6, almost 7 in the morning. So she's preparing the kids to school. Her name is Mamta Rana. She's also from Dalsingpara. She has education background as well. And yes, we together planned this. We have two daughters, Garima and Grace, 10 and 4. So both of them going to school. And we also have my friend, my brother Rakesh Rana, who is taking care of the school right now, actually as the vice principal. And then I have to do all the paperwork. You know, there are lots of paperwork to do around. So we are working as a team, actually.
I love this. Well, there you have it, folks. A couple that cared about kids and education, put their resources together, and they built a school. I mean, a school that's over 200 children now, and I'm sure it's going to grow more. And I got to believe this is one of the things I love about Obless, because you can't go wrong educating the future of the world. And I'm thinking that these kids, they're blessed, number one, because Bharat and his heart and his family of what he's doing. Now, does anyone, I got to believe people got some questions to ask here. So I don't want you to be shy. I want you to raise your hand, and I want you to hit Bharat with everything you got, because he's very intelligent. He's an educator, and I'm sure he would love to hear ideas or your opinions or just some nice words. So please raise your hand. Looks like I knew Gladys. I know Gladys would be all over this. Gladys, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for this evening. I don't have a question, but I'm so happy for Bharat. And surely these schools are needed worldwide. I went to that kind of school. The beauty of what Bharat is doing is that he's building this school, which is accommodating or admitting students whose parents are able to pay, but at the same time, he is taking in students who are from less fortunate families, whom he is sponsoring for them to get quality education. In most cases, this type of education is limited to those ones who can afford. But because of what he is doing, even those who could not afford to be in that school, they are there now. I went to that kind of school which I could never afford to go. But I've given my story before. Because of a priest in our parish, I was able to go to that school. So we need more Bharats worldwide replication, so that many children who are less fortunate will not be bad or miseducation because of the size of the pockets of their parents. Thank you so much, Bharat, and I would like to get in touch with you, and we gotta get this rolling worldwide. Thank you.
Thank you, Gladys. Thank you so much.
And Bharat, if you want to give your information, you can either put it in the chat or send it to me, and I'll make sure these individuals get here, because I know a lot of people are in kind of like the same field you're in, educating. But I want to say something real quick. Today I did a crazy live like I always do, and I talked about we have another opportunity because Ash opened up the pending positions, and I made a statement which confused a lot of people. I said, I would love if 1 million people each bought one pending position, but only used it for Obless, not for themselves. And that's their position. They can do what they want. Can you imagine? Let's say 3,000 people, all right, bought one position, and just to help out Bharat and what he's doing. Imagine how big that school is going to grow. You know, sometimes we say money is the root of all evil. A lot of people say, but money can sure do a lot of good in the right places that don't have it. So what Gladys just had said really touched a string. I've never been in that situation, but I know there's a billion people that are in that situation where they couldn't afford school, or their parents couldn't get them to school because it was expensive, or they just couldn't afford it. So I'm going to say it one more time. Ash Mafara gave us an opportunity to buy some pending positions. You can buy them for wherever you want, but my request is each of you, if you can afford it, buy one position. And I want you to think about people like Bharat, who's raising kids educational from his area, over 200 since 2015, paid out of his own pocket to keep this going through a pandemic. That's what I'm talking about. Your one position just for 3,000 people. Imagine the funds that we could collect and how many schools we can actually build for Bharat to start it off where he's at and put it all over his country, put it all over the world. That's what I'm talking about, the power of blesses. So Jean, open your hand and let's rip it. I know what you got to say.
Actually, well, Bharat, I just want to say I am absolutely blown away by you. It's just so inspiring to see someone just saw a need, took action. You gathered people around you that could provide, that could support your vision, and you just did it. And it's so inspiring. I'm curious as to how it started. Like when you had this idea, like you're an educator, building a school is a construction project. Did you bring together, local construction? Like, how did you go about bringing together the people that would need to actually build the building? And is the building expandable, or when your dream, takes flight and you really can do something bigger, will you need to build a completely different structure in that area?
Yes, I have about 40,000 square feet of land where the school building is right now. So it's expandable. And it was in 2013, actually, when we started the construction. And we took the local contractors. Yes. And then, the plan was there since, I think, 2010, when we saw that really those children required quality education, because I was looking at the youths, they were actually into like, addiction of alcohol, drugs. So we wanted to do something, for the future generation. So that's how the idea came up. And we saw the types of schools that were going on, because we wanted to give them quality education and in English medium. So as we know that if we don't learn or study English in the current situation, it's going to be difficult. Not only in your own country, it's internationally. You need to learn English. So that's where the thought came in, and then we started in 2015. So yes, so we can expand. If required be, then we'll go for another piece of land. Plenty of land available, so not an issue with that. If we want to go to other cities, we will go. We have to dig deeper. And if Oblaze, or if all our perseveres, we come together, I think we can achieve many things in the coming days.
Absolutely. And I didn't even think about the fact that you were taking these kids away from negative distractions in their lives and pointing them towards the positive in education. So it's even a bigger gift to that community. So thank you so much for what you're doing. I absolutely want to support you when you get onto Obless, and I'm sure most of the people here will want to do that as well. So your dreams are going to come to fruition quite fast, I think. So thank you so much for what you're doing, Bharat.
Thank you.
Gene, I knew you'd say something wonderful like always. Thank you. Engineer Mike, would you like to unmute yourself, please?
Engineer Mike, please don't ask me any technical question today.
No, Bharat. Good evening, everybody. I'm not coming technical to you, Bharat. I just want to applaud you to, encourage you for what you've done. That's a very big step. Because if you look at it, the way the world is going today, we will see that if you don't have knowledge in a lot of things, you are nowhere to be found. So that's why our CEO created this platform, so that we can come with various device understanding of what is happening in life and what is going to happen in the future. And he created this lovely platform for us and created this product called Obless, which will take it to write a lot of stories in the world, will change a lot of things in the world. So I just wanted to ask you, Bharat, were you trying to, you see, with what we're gonna get or what we're going to in here in with this platform and the way Obless is going, coordinated by Chris Johnson, with the instructions from our CEO, do you think you can expand? I mean, like the school, it is small now. If we have the apples start coming and donors start coming in, I'll be donor number one to tell you that already. So if we want to expand it to get like, let's say, more of a vocational institution, right? That it can start from kindergarten right up to university PhD level learning trade. For instance, we can have people carpentry, we can have women learn how to sew dresses in a more industrialized and mechanized way, modern, you know, make it even like they'll have like workshops, big workshops in the school. It can be even a boarding one, so that, I mean, you can keep track of everything that is going there. So if that's your plan, I'm donor number one, by the way. I'll have to be donor number one to you. Thank you for your courage. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks for the question, Engineer Mike. Actually, you see, I have a second ID. In the beginning, when I joined on passive, I didn't realize that in the beginning, of course, it would be so big, huge. That's when I thought, okay, this is going to be big. And then I bought, or I wouldn't say bought, I actually have a second ID that is meant for the school only. So I'm going to transfer that ID in the school's account later, once the apples start coming. So that's the intention. And then I was not thinking about, oh, bless, to go into charity and all. Probably what we can do is all the founders in this locality or in the state of, in our state, or probably in the whole country, we can come together and maybe plan in such a way that it helps children not only in certain place, probably in the whole country. And then if we come globally, maybe we can help children all over the world. I think that if we work it strategically, maybe it will be better than maybe doing it individually in the coming days. So I think we have to do as a team. We have to work together. Not only that that an individual will do. I think we have to work as a team. And so if that happens, then Obless, I'm certain that Obless will be part of the founders, coming together.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Bharat. You answered my question. Then, like I say, most of us will be chipping into your project, and I'll be number one. Just count me in through the directions of the leadership of our big bro, Chris Johnson, and the directive from our CEO. We'll all be together. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you,
Michael. Hey, Bharat, where you been hiding, man? Why are you waiting till the end? Where you been hiding? I've been looking for people like you. Okay. Here's another very well. I love this guy, actually. Suker Yang. He blew me away again last night. He had one of the best webinars I've seen, period, hands down, organized. We had 725 different languages. He knows every language. Suker, go ahead, unmute yourself, Suker Yang.
All right, thank you, Chris, and thank you for the you are blushing me for the webinar yesterday, but I'm not that well. But thank you for your support and all that you do for us and for the rest of the OnPassive family. And thank you for this project that's being shared. And I believe this is the reason for us OnPassive. And one of the purpose is to live up humanity. And to begin with, I believe, we start earlier with our children, and education these days, it's important. We want to change the world. We need to change people mind and people mentality and educate them. And so I think this is wonderful, and this is something that we all perhaps would like to do, contribute to it. I put out the number together for 200 people, $2.50 a month. That's only about $500 a month. this is something that's doable everywhere. And perhaps in India, maybe this is the place that, could be done really well for many or for a major part of the countries. And so I just applaud for your your heart for this mission to educate our children. I think that's where we begin, especially people who are in the rural area, countryside of the big country where there is hardly access to education or work. So nowadays, in many countries, you have to pay. In the US, even some people don't have to pay, but even in many countries, elementary school, you have to pay. And so $2.50 a month, people cannot even afford for some country. And so All Blacks, I believe we could do a lot of things to begin with our children to change the world. And so this is a beginning. And so education is very important nowadays, even before, but passive can improve that in the time coming in the future. So just want to share that with you, that I thank you for your commitment to this education and the heart to continue to build it to a high school level. And so together we can do it. And so we will be there for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Shukra. Thank you so much. It's very, very positive, and I was actually in your webinar yesterday. Great, you were translating.
Thank you too. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Sorry that we are not able to allow any of you to join us. So thank you for being there. Thank you.
We enjoy it actually.
Thank
yes, excellent. Thank you so much. Yes, together we can do it.
Yes,
we can do it. Yes.
Look at that. I'm absolutely loving that. Together, we can do it. Think that into your skulls, people. Keep saying it. Before you go to bed, after you say your prayers, I want you to say what these guys just said. Together, we can do anything. I want you to instill that in your heart, instill that in your head. I mean, guys, look at the screen. We have every color known to man. We even got Harold, who's a bald guy, and Chris has got hair. I mean, look at us. We've all come together for one simple thing to help out humanity. I mean, God is good, man. He's putting us all in the right place. I really believe we're all handpicked, and I can't wait. Listen, I know what I'm going to do by myself. I can't imagine what we're all going to accomplish together. I'm really, how do we say it in California? I'm stoked about this. All right, Richard Lemieux, go ahead, unmute yourself.
There we go. I love all you beautiful men, women, and children of the world from the bottom of my heart. Well, Mr. Shukr, you did a fantastic job last night. I watched it. And our dear friend in India that is doing Bharat, what you are doing is amazing. You're showing that love that God gave you in your heart. And that really impresses me. What I would like to help you with one of my founders' position, once you're in Oblast, I would like to see where you're able to supply children with iPads. You direct it where they can be on Academy and learn very, very well how to read, how to write, how to maths. In my book, that's only 3 we need, but you understand what I mean. I would really support something like that, where that way, instead of having 100,000 children, we could have 1 million children in education. And your organization can guide us founders where it's needed. What you are doing, like I said, is showing the love that God gave you in your heart towards the children. But we have to take care of the women and children of this world, the single mothers, the poor people. You know, in Canada, you're not going to find this funny. I should not get into this, but in Canada, they passed a stupid law that a poor person, healthy or not, can go to a hospital and get a shot to die, and the government will pay for it. Shame, shame, shame on the corruption. Shame on the corruption. We will fix this world. We will end that corruption. We will correct that corruption. We have no choice. And On Passive could not have hit this world at a better time. I am so happy that I waited those 4 years, because what we're going to have now is going to heal this world. And I'm getting excited again, so it's time to give you a kiss and a hug and let somebody else have the floor.
Richard, I couldn't agree with you more. Unpassive is going to give us a lot of choices, where in the past many, many years, we haven't had a lot of choices, especially in some countries. So I appreciate your words of wisdom. Mr. Bharat, you have anything you want to say to Richard?
Yes, thank you, Richard. Actually, as you started speaking, I could feel the love, coming out from your mouth. Whatever you were saying today was coming from your heart. So thank you once again, about the iPads you were saying. And yes, and that's a very unfortunate law that has actually got passed. But then you see, again, once more, we'll stick together. Together we can do it. We'll change things. Yes. Thanks, Richard.
I'm liking that slogan, Bharat. I'm liking that. Richard, thank you very much. Let me introduce you to, I'm going to have to say, one of my favorite people in Unpassive. Don't be jealous. This guy holds a very special place in my heart. I actually got to meet him. You see his appearance. He's a clean cut, very charismatic, very smart, very intelligent guy. And his looks fits his personality, because his personality is one of the best I've ever seen and met. So it is my privilege to honor one of my favorite educators in the world, Mr. Daryl Cook. Go ahead, Daryl, unmute yourself, please.
Wow. I think I better call you when I wake up in the morning. You might get a little bit different perspective.
What are you going to call me, Daryl? What are you going to call me?
Well, when you think you know it all, that someone comes in and shows you your next step. Bharat, I want to just give you many, many kudos for what you did. You've stepped out and did what most of us think about, but we never go out and do it. And I just want to give you another praise, because what you had to do is start this within the system that you lived in. You have government, you have laws, and what you did is, through the system, you did it correctly. You went out and you made sure that everything was done properly. You got the teachers that had the credentials to do it, you and your wife, and then you went out and then built upon that idea. So kudos. Number one, you don't always have to buck the system. You need to find out how to use the system, and then slowly, through a grassroots movement, build the model. And that's what you're doing. You're building the model for the world to see. Boy, doesn't that ring a bell? Did someone else in the Unpassive say that? I think his name was Ash Mufara. You build the model and then show the world, and then the world can then take that model and improve on it, or at least use it. I want to thank Charles Osong. Many of you probably don't know this, but when we started our little grassroots movement in the Bahamas, he reached out and he actually sponsored some schools in 2 or 3 of the islands. So those are the hearts that Unpassivians are showing the world. Again, it's just another model within the system. And whenever you have a system that starts to build, people listen. So Charles, thanks a lot. I don't think I ever personally thanked you on that. And that's one thing that the Bahamians have done. They've done it on a very low profile, and they built the model and then they showed the model. And that's exactly what you have done. My only question to you is, are you getting your rest? I'll leave it with that.
Thank you, Daryl. Well, excellent words from you, from such a great personality. I've seen you in webinars many times, and I love listening to you. The way you narrate things, the way you present yourself, it's excellent, fantastic. It's out of this world. So thank you once again. And yes, very good question about rest. Yes, I get enough rest. Yes, because I think when you work and you don't rest, I think you need to work the next day as well, and then in the coming days. So you need to rest. Like naturally, we human beings have been designed to rest in the night, sleep in the night, and that's how our ancestors were. Sleep in the night, and then as the daylights, as it's dawn, you just wake up and go hunting. So that's how we're designed. So yes, I take enough rest, and then it's always a new day, a new beginning when the sun rises. Thanks.
Yeah, I think I made a mistake. Did I say Charles Osong? I meant to say Engineer Mike. Engineer Mike is the one who reached out and just took heart. So, and Charles does a lot, but it was I met so many people in the last couple of years, but Engineer Mike, it was your heart that inspired so many of us to continue on. So thanks a lot. And again, Bharat, my hat's off to you. I want to share with you what we're doing, and I'd like to learn from you as well, because I know you had a lot of hurdles to go through, and I'm sure we're going to find those legal hurdles as well. So I think we have a lot to share. Blessings.
Thanks.
Wow. Yeah, you two definitely need to swap some emails there, guys, because I don't know if you've seen Daryl's the way he did things in the Bahamas. Bharat, I think you two are an unstoppable force with many educators on here. Man, you guys are really going to do some amazing things, I believe. But you're right. And Engineer Mike, kudos to you, brother. I've never heard that. I'm glad that Daryl said that. Kudos to you, my brother. Appreciate you you have given a lot of things in the last couple of months to help out a lot of people, including educational courses. Mike, you're a what I call a true blessed founder. Thank you very much. And yeah, Charles Osong, he's okay, but he's not as good as Mike right now. Mike just raised another notch on my ladder there. So thanks, Daryl. And Daryl, you definitely need to look in the mirror more, because you're that good looking, brother. You're that good looking. Hey, speaking of another good looking guy, we got Bruce Gerstein. Bruce, come on, unmute yourself, brother.
Thank you, Charles. Charles. Thank you, Chris. You got me all mixed up. Engineer Mike, Chris, Charles. Namaste, Bharat, and thank you so much for what you've done. You're an amazing man, and I've never met you before, so it's very exciting and invigorating to see what you've done there. There's a lot of things that come into my mind. I start thinking of people like Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King said, "I have a dream." And Ashma Forrest said, "I have a dream." That God makes our dream even bigger than we know we can dream. It just expands. And what you've done with the kids, I watched the pictures, and I'm like the one who was sleeping. I was constantly sleeping in school too, so I related to that. But one of the things that I started thinking about was what you're doing. And another movie came to my mind, because you have, how many children there? You have 200. And all I can say is, just like in Jaws, when they looked at Jaws over the boat, they said, I think we need a bigger boat. And I think you're going to need a bigger school. Thank God you've got the acreage to do that. But I'm also thinking how O Academy can really expand a lot of things for you. Like I was even thinking in the classroom, you can even bring educators from outside into that classroom that you have there, so that they can even learn more things beyond what you learn in India. And when they do that, their minds expand, and as big as it may be now, they can expand them a great deal. The thing about the Academy is that not only can they expand their minds, but when you have, like Richard was saying, when a bless comes around, iPads can be gotten for any children everywhere. And if all of them have something, guess what? All of them can also be on passive. And on passive, even as children, they can start playing with the tools and on passive and learning more skills to develop into whatever they want to be. And there are many things they can do. But, I'm just thinking you mentioned you want to get from where you are also to bigger education. It will take some time, but all of these things are possible. But I don't know why my mind has this big screen in front of like 25 kids or whatever, talking to them and seeing when they're not paying attention and calling them out when they do. And kids having a lot of fun and interaction with even children from around the world. Because one of the things that's important is that children interact and they learn there's more than just a small world that they have. India is a very big country, and I always say it starts that little pebble in the water that you drop. When you drop the one pebble, it starts to expand and expand and expand. And because you're in India, it's a great place to begin a movement of education as well, all through India, all through Asia, and from beyond. So I'm just thinking how you feel about where you want to go with all of this.
Thank you, Bruce.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes, I'll take your blessings with open arms. Thank you so much. Yes, as I said, that this is not something I can acquire by myself. I think we need a big workforce to achieve what we want to for the future. Somebody is banging my door. Excuse me, just a moment.
That man always busy. Right, Brucey? Very good, Bruce. Always
I have another question with him, but he's gone out of the room. He's left the room. I've chased him out of the room.
you scared him. He's back. He's back. Go ahead, Bharat.
No, it was my daughter actually. So yes, thanks, Bruce. I've seen you in many webinars over the years, and it's always whenever you speak, you sound like you are blessing people, the world. So thank you once again, Bruce. But
Thank
yes,
you.
as I said, we need a team. We need to be together. We have to do it. I cannot do it alone. Because it's a lot to do, a lot to achieve. And, as I said before, that after launch, that's when our work begins. After the launch, our work begins there. So it starts there. So it's a long way to go.
Yeah. You live in a beautiful part of India. I should be in Darjeeling in November. So if you're there, we'll come visit you. But the greatest thing of all is that you have the heart to carry this through, you and your wife, and the teachers that you have. Because you have that, God gives you the power to carry on. And God gives you the energy when you think that you're tired. God will still carry you through it no matter what. So anyway, as many people want to talk, and I'll get your number through the chat or something later. Okay? Namaste.
Thank you. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you.
Yep, guys, make those connections. I love when y'all connect. Believe it or not, it makes it all easier when everyone's connected together.
Very
Okay.
true. Very true.
My queen, Dr. Benny, my queen. Unmute yourself. And Bruce, thank you very much.
The queen.
The queen.
Wow. Brother Chris, good evening. Good evening to each and everyone. Good morning, good afternoon to my brothers and sisters on this amazing webinar in different parts of the globe. Mr. Bharat, I want to take this opportunity to thank you for making this gesture, building something, a building for these children. I believe that the Lord will continue to be with you. And I do understand that environment matters a lot for our children. And I know that the parents of these children, they are so thrilled for what you are doing with your dedication. The first thing I want to say is I want all of us to thank our CEO, because if it wasn't for him, we will not be here today when it comes to Oh Bless. He saw the vision. Now, you stated that you choose the best instructors for our children. I believe they're well educated. Hopefully you have psychologists, psychiatrists, school counselors, should in case the children have problem, they will lay their problems to the counselor or the psychologist.
Why are you coming before that?
Excuse me?
Go ahead. Go ahead. We got him. Dr.
Thank
Benny,
you.
go ahead. We muted him. He just unmuted himself.
Okay, thank you. As we all know, education is the key to success. Without education, we are nothing. I am nothing. To be good is not good enough. You have to exceed expectation. Now, I want to know, Mr. Bharat, I want to know your expectation before on passive about the future of these children. If you don't mind, please.
Thank you, Dr. Benny, for the question. And you're also a very great personality. I've heard you many times. I listened to your webinars, and it's very inspirational. Yes, had it not been for on passive, what it would be? That's the question, right? If on passive wasn't there, then what? Shall I continue?
Go ahead. We just got a couple people that are hacking us right now. You go right ahead. We'll take care of those people.
Yes, Dr. Benny. So if it wasn't for on passive, then I would have been limited to just one school and just one locality, just my village or my town. That's it. Probably, it would have taken me maybe 20 or 30 years to expand. But then now,
there's the gentleman's answer. Telegrams, 50,000 of them, demanding that.
Go ahead, Bharat. Go ahead. We got some people playing around. You go right ahead. Nothing stops us. You keep going.
Yes. We had many hurdles. Yes, we had many hurdles. So since 2015 we opened, we had so many hurdles. We have been actually jumping all the hurdles. So we are very much used to it. Anyway, coming back to the point, yes, if it wasn't for Unpassive, Dr. Benny, I would have been limited to one school and probably a certain number of children, and that's it. That's all about it. Probably expansion, I would have, maybe it would not have been easy for expansion. But then after Unpassive, it's a different scenario. Yes, it's a completely different scenario. As our CEO has repeatedly told us to think bigger. So if you can't do it in Unpassive, you can do anywhere else. That's what he has said. So we are sticking to what he has advised us. So it's a great time. Looking forward.
Oh, thank you so much for the answer. I just want to let you know that Unpassive will do the work, and we are here for you, especially when it comes to these children, because a lot of them, I believe they do have their goals and responsibility. What do they want to do in life, So yes, we are going to work together to mold them up. Don't worry, I am in. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Benny, my queen. Great question, Dr. Benny. Love that smile. You know that. Thank you again. All right, Tim Dillon, unmute yourself. You think you can follow that, Tim? Following the queen is tough to do sometimes.
I will try. Chris, you and I have talked about this. I think there's a great way to bless, oh bless. If you are a business owner and you have employees who are not founders, as time goes by, maybe a way to bless your employees is to make them a reseller so that they can gain the blessing of Unpassive. In return, they may bless, oh bless. Because there's no reason why, if you have employees, you can't give them a reseller position. You pay for it. They get the benefit of it. Oh my goodness. You just bless them. Now they have the opportunity to turn around and bless someone else. Isn't that a really cool situation? I think it's a beneficial situation for Obless overall. Anybody agree?
Yes, Tim, I agree. I think a lot of people agree on here.
I think it's a really great way to benefit those who did not see or comprehend what Unpassive is or will be, because it's going to be unbelievable. Thank you, Mr. Ash.
Thank you, Tim. Mr. Bro, you got anything for this guy? He's a fun guy.
Tim? Yes. Well, whatever he says, it makes a lot of sense. If you're a business owner, yes, you should go ahead and do that, because what goes around comes around. That's I think yes, we need these people to bless in the coming days. Yes, excellent, Tim.
Thank you. We are ready to go where no one has gone before.
That's correct.
Thank you, Mr. Tim Dillon.
Thank you.
I always put a smile on my face, Tim. Thank you. Great topic. Bharat, thank you for helping me. Listen, I know a lot of you don't know, Tim was in a very bad motorcycle accident years ago. And Tim is a very intelligent guy. He had a lot of brain damage, and he sometimes thinks he's not there. I think he's there. I think his heart, I think if Tim didn't even have a brain, his heart would oversee his whole body, because he really does have a wonderful heart. So Tim, I always appreciate when you come on here and beam me up, Scotty. I love that kind of stuff. Thanks, Tim.
I thank you, Chris.
You're
It's
welcome,
great
brother.
to hear a compliment like that.
Ah,
It's been a long time.
well, I'm going to give them to you every day, brother. Just keep your hopes high, because you know what's coming.
We love you, Tim.
We're ready to go warp speed.
Yeah. Who gave you that, May Crazy? It was Marty DeGarmo gave you that crazy name. All right, let's move on to, here's a lady that every time I turn on my Facebook, she's dancing somewhere. Marcine, unmute yourself. And I think, I'm not kidding you. You must have like a party every night, because you're dancing everywhere. I walked into a party store like M. Kelly. You were dancing next to M. Kelly. I don't know what's going on with you girls. You're everywhere. You're having fun. I love that. Marcine, go ahead.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, everyone. Namaste. Salam alaikum. Good morning. Bonjour. We are Ompasivian. So it means we are all around the world and we speak the Ompasivian language. My brother Bharat, that was so wonderful what you just explained to us. I am really touched by that, because we see it $2.50 for somebody's school fee or a teacher payment or whatever. I remember when I went to school when I was so young back home in Cameroon, that was basically the same amount of the money that my parents have to pay for me to go to primary school. But they didn't have it. They didn't have it. So brother, you are touching our heart. If you doesn't know, those children, we feel them. We really feel them. I've been there. So one thing that we have to know, all of us, those children are going to school. You are struggling to pay for those teachers to train them. Remember, when they go home, they don't have food, because if they cannot afford to pay for their school fee, if they don't afford to do any other thing, imagine when they go home, they don't have food. Means what? When they go back to their various home with their parents, some of them go to bed with no food, and the next day they have to go to the class. No matter what the teacher is saying, he go in here and he go back on the other side. So I'm just going to ask us that when Oh Bless come, let us join together and give something on Oh Bless to help those children as a total, so that they can have some kind of system in the school, that they can be giving them at least lunch or breakfast or dinner before they go home. The same structure that they're having here in the United States, when children come to school, in some of the school, they give them something to eat. If we have that system to give to those kids, it's going to really help. I say it because I've been there. I know how sometimes we stay like 2-3 days with no food in our home. We have to go around the neighborhood to look for something to eat. So I'm ready to really have your email or your number, because I'm going to be part of those that they will make sure that those children have something in your school to eat when they are there. Even that's the only meal, because I know most of them, I believe that most of them, when they go home, they will not have anything to eat, and they have to get up in the morning and go back to school. So education is very well done, but how can we be educated when we don't have nothing in our tummy? Thank you so much for everything you are doing. We really appreciate you. And to all my brothers around the world, thank you, Ompassive for life. Thank you. Thank you.
Chris, can I add something? Marcin.
Your show, Mr. Bharat. You
Yes.
say whatever you want to say.
Marcin, I think you just touched on a very, very good topic about food. Yes, I agree with you. Out of 200 children, every day there are about 50 to 60 children who don't bring lunch. They just move around. I don't know what they eat in the morning at home. 50, 60 of them, they don't eat. They just move around. So, we started a program called, Food on Wheel. But somehow it didn't work. What we wanted to do was like those parents who could afford would bring a separate set of tiffin wrapped up in this aluminum foil and then put it in that box so that we could distribute to those who wouldn't bring lunch. But then somehow it didn't work because you see, probably there are many other reasons. There can be legal issues as well. Food allergies. We don't know what child is allergic to what food, so it didn't work. But then we are on planning to start our own cafeteria within the premise, so that we can at least give them a lunch. But then for to starting lunch on that big scale every day, it needs a lot of what is the money, time, laborers. So it's a work in progress.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bharat. Sorry about that. You want to continue talking? You got more to say?
Yes, I think what Marcin said was like $2.50. That's what she was. Her parents were paying when she was in elementary school, and then after so many years down the line, still yes, I agree with that. I would. We actually deliberately did that so that most of the children would be able to. Most of the parents would be able to afford to have their children educated. Yes.
Mr. Bharat, thank you. Mr. Bharat, I just got a surprise phone call. I won't tell you by who, but they're loving you right now and amazed by you. Just to let you know, I don't drop names. You can figure out who you want to, but that person says, grab this guy and get him out in the open. He needs to be heard. So thank you, Bharat. Thought I'd give you a little perk up there. Marcin, absolutely beautiful. When I was growing up, I remember one of the studies, what you're talking about is kids that their parents didn't feed them breakfast or they couldn't afford to feed them. And they couldn't learn because they were so hungry. That was in America. Now, when there's a crisis in America, there's a crisis. But when you have crisis in other countries, we don't have a clue about those. So that's why I'm loving hearing this from India right now. This gentleman is saying, hey, there's issues. I got a way to solve it. So I'm loving every part of this. So Marcin, wonderful discussion with you and Bharat. Okay, Bridget, here comes another one. Here comes another big player. Bridget, unmute yourself, please.
Good evening, everyone. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Chris, for letting me speak. Bharat, you're such an inspiration. I would say there is no accident that we're all here in OnPassive. We're talking about education, homelessness, water, clean water, everything. We were all put together for a purpose. The universe is in alignment here. All of us have big hearts. So just like Gladys said, I happen to be one of the beneficiary of the system that you put together. So I'm very passionate when it comes to education. Most of the schools in Africa, where some of us came from, a certain Bishop of late, Bishop Shanahan, traveled to Africa and started schools. Started one school in Cameroon, the next, you have multiple schools in Cameroon just like that. So that kind of idea, that's how we put together. And then he traveled to Nigeria, to Sierra Leone, maybe in Kenya. I think he had some schools there as well. So most of us benefited from that kind of a system. So I'm definitely passionate about this. So I would definitely want to be part of it. So count me in.
Thanks, Bridget.
You're
Yes,
welcome.
definitely. We will keep in touch with all the founders, because this is the first time actually I'm attending. I'm speaking in a webinar. I have attended almost all the webinars, be it international or Hindi webinar in India. I've attended almost all of them, but then today is the first time I'm speaking. So in fact, it's a different experience than being a panelist and just attending, being an attendee. These are two different experiences. So it's great to hear from you, Bridget. And then I feel like you have that passion, also to help, and then to go to that extent, and especially with education. Yes, definitely, we all will be in touch, and then together once again we'll do it together.
There he goes again with that. Look at it's catching, guys. You see what he's trying to do. Hey, listen, real quick. I don't like jumping hands. I know Marty DeGarmo. I think it might be quiet in this house. Marty, are you still on here? Can you unmute yourself real quick, Marty, please? Marty?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry. Yeah, what's up?
Hey, can you I want you to, you said something a little bit ago to me. I want you to repeat that to Mr. Bharat, because I actually enjoyed what you said. I just caught the message.
We hear a lot of people. I've been in this business going on 4 years. And every once in a while, a diamond comes out. And trust me, sir, you're a diamond. I wish we'd have heard you sooner. I don't know why they didn't listen to you in other webinars. But what you find, see all the hands up? You have a good speaker from the heart. People want to talk to you. And you have a good heart. And trust me, you're looking at maybe a million millionaires one day. If they give 25% of what they make, we'll take care of those hungry little kids. And I'll be one of the first ones to add money to any blessing you're doing, sir. I mean that. I mean that out of my heart.
Wow. Good to hear from you, Marty. Wow. This is the first time actually I'm talking to you. Actually, I listen to you all the time. I listen to your YouTube channel also, and you're the man with the man of wisdom. You have lots of knowledge. You've been in this field for a very long time, and then I think you are like how do I say, you're on top of all of us. As far as expertise is concerned, I learn a lot from you. Every webinar that you are in, we learn. And then as you are telling us that yes, I didn't realize today, because I didn't realize that from my perspective, it was a small gesture, because it was just a small village, and then just a small village, some children. That's all I was doing. But then after coming and talking here in this big platform, I think it's a great recognition, and that also coming from you, sir. It's very it's heart touching. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
That's fantastic, but I'm nothing special. The one thing I've always done in this business, my regular business, my whole adult life, is I love finding special people and pushing them to the top. you are a special person and you need to be shoved to the top. And there's a lot of people here I've met in the last 4 years that have come so far because the power of this company is not digital. It's not the products. It's the people. We can't get this many people with such good hearts in one place. And I talk to Chris and a lot of people here I talk to every day. And I tell people I'm close to what we need to do now. We don't have any more founders coming in. Go harvesting. Go harvesting for diamonds in the rough. And thank God we found one tonight, sir. No doubt about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Marty. Thank you very much for your words. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Man, we're gonna have to get a bigger Zoom screen because I think we just blew up Bharat's head real big right now. I mean, the computer's leaning right now. And Marty, you got it. You're number 2 because Engineer Mike, he already deemed down number 1 to get in there. So we got to put you. And you know what? You're not special, Marty, at all, but you're sure special to all of us. I'll tell you that right now. All right, there you go. Now let me get back to the. There's a couple ladies. Nadu, my beautiful sister Nadu, please unmute yourself. Here's another giving lady I know.
Thank you, Chris. Hey, hey, hey. We are in. Yeah. I want to talk tonight because I heard something from our brother Bharat that shows that he is not one of the school builder who want to make money because they know school is the future, school is the key, school bring you to success. People go into that business just to make money. They don't care about the teacher who got to teach there. They don't care about the future of the kids who are learning. Once they make money, they can close their place or go to another area and make their money. So I want to thank you for that, to have that heart for the people who are working with you. And nonetheless, you have qualified people to share their knowledge. In that particular regard, I want to extend my hand to you as an American fashion designer, graduate from one of the best schools, AINYC, the Arts Institute of New York City. If you want to do something in fashion, even though we are not meeting now, you can call me. If it's the pattern making, the designing, any other parts of the fashion, call me, I will be there to assist you. And then after we have the fashion done, we can go to the mental issue that the kid will be going through, like our sister Benny said. Because you cannot have the freedom without starting from your mind. You can have all you want, all the money, all the diamond. If you are not free in your mind, you are not really free. You are lying to yourself. So I'm not going to take too much time. This is what I want to tell you, Brother Bharat.
Thank you. Thank you, Nadu.
You're welcome.
Well, yes, and then it's a great offer. Yes, fashion, as you said, designing and fashion. Yes, it's one of our what to say plans to start. You know, as we start vocational courses, so we will put will involve fashion as well. Yes, especially for the ladies. Yes.
Now for everybody, because we are not allowed to come out in our birthday suits. So we need it. We need to wear something.
Yes, definitely. Yes.
So thank you to have that.
we will be in touch.
All right.
Yes, definitely. I do not know how to. Well, the session is on, and then many of our brothers and sisters are asking me to send my number, but probably I'll have to. I don't know. I'll have to sign. Become an attendee to write something in the chat, or I can do it as a panelist.
Yeah, you can write in the chat, Brad. Is that what you're asking?
Yes. So when I press chat, because I've seen many founders there asking for my number just to contact. Okay, so I got this one here. Let's click on more in chat. So
yeah, if you guys want any information, and if you can't get it through here, I do have Mr. Brat's email. You can send me a message, and I promise you I will get it to that gentleman right there.
Yes.
If that helps. Okay. We have 3 individuals with their hands raised. I know Julie Wen wants to speak at the end, so don't let me forget her because I do not want to get cracked in the skull tonight. We have about a little less than a half hour. We're actually doing really, really good on time. So Lister T, Nadu, thank you very much, by the way. Lister T, please unmute yourself.
Hello, everyone. Bharat, you have to be commended for what you were doing. That is amazing. It just blessed my heart to see these little children in school learning, to see them having meals, to see them looking happy, because you don't usually see that. So doing what you are doing is just incredible. And thank you so much, because the children, they are one of my passions. I want to do so much for them. And I know that when Old Bless launches, I will be in your corner. I just wanted you to know that. I am one of the ones that's going to be there because I want to do so much for these little ones. And what else? Right now, my heart is so full just thinking about these pictures and seeing them. You know, I get emotional where they are concerned. And it's such a beautiful thing to see. And thank you so much for doing what you do. You will be blessed beyond measure. I can promise you that. Thanks again so much. That's all I had to say. Thank you.
thank you, Listra. I could hear your heart. Actually, it was straight, direct, and yes, although the pictures were for for a very short period of time, what I noticed that you observed that the children were looking happy. Yes, definitely, they are happy because we have changed certain patterns or the ways of teaching. We have actually adapted to the modern way of teaching. So although it's a small remote village, but then we are because of the internet we are learning a lot. So these days we're adapting to a new technology. So that's great. Thank you for observing that. And yes, definitely we'll be in touch.
You're
Thank
welcome.
You so much.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Wow, where is this guy? I mean, listen, don't take this the wrong way, but I'm falling in love with you, Bharat. I'm falling in love with you. Don't take that the wrong way. That's a good thing. All right, Lister, thank you very much. Mr. Tom Taylor, unmute yourself, please.
How are you all doing? Having some
Good,
wonderful people here again. Awesome. Good to see you. A few things I would like to bring up. First one actually is it's absolutely great and certainly 150% correct to always thank Mr. Ashmofaro and his family, because he certainly is doing all the heavy lifting, going the long yards and filling every single pothole on our way to success. The one thing I've been missing listening to a lot of the webinars of late is that hardly ever anybody gives credit to their sponsor. Now, people, you got to realize that none of us would not be here if it wasn't for our sponsor. So I would like to take this opportunity and thank Ken Russo for opening my eyes 4 years ago, a little more than 4 years ago now, and bringing me into this wonderful community. I've met some great people along the way, and I can't wait till the apples are coming into such an extent that I can actually start traveling the world and especially have a nice big lunch at Marty's big living room. Want to meet the Marty Korn in person, that's for sure. Now, second, I would like to give a little background about myself, because a few people have actually contacted me and say, you know, where you've been hiding and all the rest of it. 65 years old, I live in the Philippines for the last 11 years, originally from Australia. And I worked as a professional disc jockey for 25 years. Absolutely loved what I was doing. I still love music and I still love people as much as I did back then. Even sometimes at my age now, I go out to the disco on a Friday and Saturday night, I grab the microphone, do a bit of MC work just to fire the crowd up and get people going. You know, I love it, absolutely love it, you know, and I'm doing it for free. I'm just doing it for the fun of it, not because I want to get paid or whatever. So that's sort of a little bit of my background. After that, once the nightlife sort of died away, I went into admin work mainly, started as a night shelf packer in supermarkets, worked my way all the way up to store management. Biggest job I ever had when I was overseeing 175 people. A shop that turned over millions every week. This is back in Australia. Absolutely loved every minute of it, no matter how tough the challenge. The other thing is, I want to mention, I would like to bring a charity to your attention that I've been supporting as much as I possibly can for quite a few years now. The charity is called the Purple Community Fund. Is actually based in the UK. Their main work and benefits, what they do, is done to probably about 90% in the Philippines, and the remaining 10% go to Tanzania in Africa. They are passionate about helping poverty-stricken families and help them lead financially independent lives. Now, their main focus is on the poorest of the poor, so to speak. Families that are living and working in slums, and together with all the help they get, they fund and run their livelihood, their education, their health and nutrition programs. Now, one of the biggest things, what happened with COVID, especially here in the Philippines, is that a lot of the local health clinics have closed down or now run on very reduced hours, which is making it very difficult for people to access healthcare services. So that's, if you're looking at some stage talking about Oh Bless, it'll definitely be one of the companies, you know, I would appreciate if you could.
Hey, Tom. Tom, can you hear me? You lost your sound, Tom. Can you hear me? Wave your hand if you can hear me, Tom. Uh-oh, we lost Tom. Tom, if you can hear me, Tom, I would love to have you discuss that project you're talking about on a whole nother show. I would love to hear that. I'm sure a lot of other people would. So if you can hear me? Great. Yeah, I can hear. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I don't know what the heck happened there.
All right, Tom, do me a favor. I would love to have this discussion with your project you're talking about on a whole nother show. That sounds very interesting. So if you can get with me or send me a little message, I will schedule a time for you to come on and we can talk all about that project. What do you think of that?
That sounds awesome to me. Now, can I finish with a beautiful story that's very dear to my heart? It's been around for quite a few years, and most of you may or may not have heard it.
Sure you can.
We're talking about children. We're talking about helping everybody. This is probably the best example. This is a true story that happened many, many, many years ago, and somebody finally put it in writing. I think it was around about 12 or 13 years ago. The following story has a sweet and heartwarming message and has inspired many, many others with its very simple message. Love one another and be kind. What happened? A farmer had some puppies he needed to sell, you know, to make ends meet. So he painted a sign advertising the puppies and set about nailing it to a post on the edge of his farm. As he was driving the last nail into the post, he felt a tug on his overalls. He looked down into the eyes of a little boy. "Mister," he said, "I would like to buy one of your puppies." "Well," said the farmer as he rubbed the sweat off the back of his neck, "these puppies come from very fine parents and cost a good deal of money." The boy dropped his head in disappointment. Then he reached deep into his pocket. He pulled out a handful of change and held it up to the farmer. "I've got $2.30. Is that enough to at least take a look?" "Sure," said the farmer. And with that, he let out a whistle. Out from the doghouse and down the ramp came the mother dog, followed by 4 little balls of fur. The little boy pressed his face against the fence. His eyes danced with delight. As the dogs made their way to the fence, the little boy noticed something else stirring inside the doghouse. Slowly, another little fur ball appeared, this one noticeably smaller than the others. Down the ramp it slid. Then in an awkward manner, the little puppy began hobbling towards the others, doing its best to catch up. The boy looked up to the farmer, pointing at the hobbling puppy, and said, "I want that one." The farmer knelt down at the boy's side and said, "Son, trust me, you don't want that puppy. He will never be able to run and play with you like all the other dogs can." With that, the little boy stepped back from the fence, reached down, and began rolling up one leg of his trousers. In doing so, he revealed a steel brace running down both sides of his leg, attaching itself to a specially made shoe. Looking back up at the farmer, he said, "You see, sir, I don't run too well myself, and he will need somebody who understands." With tears in his eyes, the farmer reached down and picked up the little pup. Holding it carefully, he handed it to the little boy. "How much, sir?" asked the little boy. "No charge," answered the farmer. "There is no charge for love." Thank you very much for giving you the time. Have a great day, everybody. Talk to you soon.
Thank you, Tom. Tom, and like I said, get with me. Find a way to get me or through Marty, and we're going to get you to talk about that other project. I'd love to hear about it, Tom. Appreciate your words of and your story. All right, Mr. Bharat, you have anything you want to say to this wonderful guy?
And definitely, we look forward to his session whenever you're ready, Chris. Tom, great story. There's no price for love. Yes, very clear message. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Okay, Tom, I appreciate you. Thank you once again. Get back with me. I'm going to call, before I call Julie, I want to call another educator, but in a different way. And this person has no idea I'm going to call her. She was an educator with her hands. So I would like, if you don't mind, Lynn Nakamoto, would you like to come on and say a few words? I know you're an educator of a whole different kind of world there. So come on, Lynn, let's see what you got.
Sure, be happy to. You know, today's project that Bharat explained, you know, it just makes me realize how much we take education for granted here in America, because education is a publicly funded. So it's no big deal. Everyone can go to school here, you know. But then I think about children with disabilities in particular. Here, children with disabilities get a good education. There are schools for the disabled. There are teachers with special degrees to work with disabled children. And then I look at other countries where non-disabled children don't even have an education, especially in areas where there are school fees. The parents have to have money to pay school fees for their children, even to set foot in a classroom. So education is beyond the reach of many, many families. And then you talk about children with disabilities, that's even harder, you know? So a lot of these children with disabilities are hidden in these communities. They're shoved into rooms, hidden so that the world does not see them, and they get no education. So, I think that Unpassive, Academy, Obless, and the rest are going to provide access to something I think should be a right, a global right for all children. And that right is to an education, and an education that is suitable for that child. So I have a lot of optimism and excitement in what Obless and Unpassive, Academy, etc., will bring to improve education and the situation of many children, especially in countries that don't have the right to a free education. Thank you.
Oh, go ahead, Bharat.
Well, thank you. It's great to see Lynn. I've seen you so many times, different webinars. You are well, almost in every webinar, playing a very, very important role, as far as Unpassive webinars are concerned. And then we are very much aware that you are also a teacher with less disabled children, especially with the American Sign Language. Yes, you touched a very, very sensitive and very, very emotional topic here. Actually, as you mentioned that in America, you have very good education system. Probably that may change after Unpassive has come. Certain things are definitely going to change after Academy and Obless come into action. But then, Lynn, yes, in many parts of the world today, also, as you said, those children, those who have disabilities, they are locked in rooms, and it's like they are cursed to the family. They're considered in many communities. It's very sad. Yes, we need to come out and bring these children out of their rooms and send them schools. We need to have different set of schools for them, so that there is no competition or comparison between those fortunate ones and the ones with disabilities. They should have their own schools. They should have their own facilities. So that's how it should be. Yes, thank you so much, Lynn, for bringing this subject. Excellent.
Thank you, Bharat. Thank you for coming today to share.
Way to go, Lenny. That's what I'm talking about. You know what? You were what, 40 years? Over 40 years you worked, were you were an instructor or teacher for the hearing impaired, correct?
Sign language interpreter for 40 years.
Oof.
Yeah.
Wow. You must have very strong arms, because I know the people that I know that do that for a profession, they said at the end of the day, their forearms are very sore from talking all day with their hands.
Yeah, yeah. I had carpal tunnel syndrome because of the too much use of my hands. So
Right.
I had surgery, bilateral surgery, but never quite regained strength. So today I can't interpret anymore. I don't have the endurance or the flexibility. But it's okay, because Unpassive is on the way.
Yeah, there you go. It's a good answer, Lynn. Thanks you for that. Was a really nice things to say. All right. Now last, and yeah, you know what? We're going to make Julie the last one. I always promise we're going to get out early. I know Richard Lamoot has already talked because he always jumps in at the last minute. So I think we're good. So Julie, you want to be the last person, and then we'll close this bad boy out. Julie, please unmute yourself.
Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you so much for bringing on Bharat and his wife and all that they are doing today. Bharat, I just wanted to say thank you so much for what you and your wife are doing for all these children. And I know that there's a lot of people behind the scenes that's supporting you. You are giving the key, the life to these children, and you are called here onto this earth to bring that purpose into life. And I wanted to say, Unpassive, so blessed to have you here, but so much more is are the children. They are so blessed to have you in their life. Education is one thing, but not only that, you teaching them in terms of knowledge, but you prepare them for social and emotional and all well-rounded around for them to grow up. So thank you so much. And the only things that I can say, everyone here has given you a lot of, like praises and all that, but all I wanted to say is thank you so much for everything that you are doing. And I believe that everyone who's watching this sessions tonight and who has that heart, who has that knowledge, will get their heartstring pull. And this is something that we are here for. I said this before, our CEO created this temporarily for all of us here, but it's more for the younger generations, the more to come generations. And you are preparing these children for that matter, and you are giving them this blessings. No one in this world can do that except you are start doing that to all these children. I want to say thank you so much. And all I can do right now is offering support, whatever I could do at this time, whatever we could do as a whole family. However, I wanted to say, I pray for you and your wife and everyone's behind the scene, all the teachers in your school, to have strength, wisdom, courage, and more compassionate and passion for you to be able to carry this purpose for many more years to come. So thank you so much for being on here, and thank you so much for just coming out here to share with you. For a lot of us here who do not have a project, but get your heart and your mind together, because I believe even though you don't have the projects, you don't have things that you're working on right now, but being here in the Oblast meeting, it will open our heart and our mind so much more. It has been such a blessing for me, because I get to see I get to ask, what is my purpose being here in this world? Please use me, use that purpose for me being here. And Bharat and your wife and all the teachers out there, I wanted to congratulate you and commend you and send you so much blessings, because you are the true gem of OnPassive, but you are the true gem and the diamond for all these children in your school. Thank you so much, Chris, for letting me have a few words.
Very welcome. Mr. Bharat, it's all yours.
Chris, you tell me, sorry.
You go right ahead. You can answer whatever you like to Julie Wen.
Yes. Wow, Julie. Julie is a person who has actually inspired so many people around the globe for the past many years. When she speaks, we feel like how she has intensity inside. In each word she speaks, everything comes out from her heart. So I'm a great fan of Julie. Thank you so much for your words. From today, after this webinar, after this session, I think I have just gained my strength. I've doubled my strength actually to go out there and then do whatever is possible for these children and people in need. So it's a great session, Chris. Thank you so much once again for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, Julie. You're an excellent person, excellent human being.
Very nice. Yeah, we call Julie the trend setter, believe it or not. She is a trend setter. She's done many things that a lot of us had followed. So I'm always appreciative of Julie when she knows what she does. She probably hates when I brag about her, but she has set a lot of trends in this company. And I consider her one of the lead roles for many things that go on in OnPassive. So thank you. Okay, listen to me. We're actually going to shut this down before 11 o'clock. Absolutely amazing. I want to give a big shout out to this gentleman, Mr. Bharat. Absolutely love this. I'm going to confirm that you are definitely someone that I missed and I wish I wouldn't have. I don't know if you were just hiding in the bushes, but I'm glad that you came out. And remember, I didn't listen. People say, oh, what do you find? No, no, no. He wrote me a story. He wrote me a story about what he's doing, and it caught my attention. All right. I don't find anyone. They find Obless. Okay. They see what's about Obless. They have a passion. And you definitely heard it's not even his passion. It's a passion that he's actually doing. He's living that life that he loves right now. So really cool. Let me shout out some other thanks. I want to thank Julie Wen and Lynn Nakamoto for running the panel and advertising. Lynn's an advertising freak. She's got this link, I think in Russia in the front page, it says, "Hey, oh, bless, don't miss it." By Lynn, she does all kind of things. Julie Wen and Lynn, you guys ran the board. We got a couple hackers in here tonight, which always makes it exciting. And they didn't get one bad word in. So man, quick with the fingers to get them out of there. Love that. I want to thank Marty DeGarmo for allowing us to use this corporate Zoom and adding some, always his words. And he is special to me. Me and Marty beat each other all day, but it's for fun. It's for entertainment purposes. I love that guy like you have no idea. And if he doesn't love me, that's his loss, let me tell you. But I love it when you guys come on here and you're inspirational. Every person that spoke on here tonight, to me, brought some more color, all right, to the topic. You brought awareness. Mr. Bharat, you put things out here that I've been waiting to hear for a long time. A different part of the world. I want more stories, guys. I have a few, all right? Some are a little slow. I want you to pick them up. I want you really to tell me what you want to do and what you're doing. Like Mr. Bharat said, an excellent example for an Obless project. He's already doing it. All right. The guy, listen, whatever you gave to keep this running, Bharat, you're going to get 100 times fold over back in return, and success of every one of those kids that you're educating are never going to forget who you are. Never going to forget who your wife is, your kids, because you did something for them. Do you know how many people in this world right now, billions of people, that no one will do nothing for them and they struggle? We don't want people to struggle in impassive. That's what we want to do. Bharat said it many times tonight. Together, we are doing things together and making things happen. Okay. Billions of people are going to know who Impassive is through all of you and what it's going to do. See, they're just hearing us talk right now. They haven't seen the action we're really going to take. And remember what I said, everyone, if you have the extra funds, buy yourself one penny position because they're there and we don't want them to be wasted. Put it toward, let's say right now, Mr. Bharat, let's help this guy out. Buy a position and let's help this guy out, along with many other projects that are coming in our way. It's a good thing, guys. Listen, if you've never given or helped anyone before in your life, maybe because you just couldn't and you were taking care of your family, it is the greatest feeling in the world to help people out. Whether you're giving them $1 or you're giving them a life. People, we're giving them a life through Impassive. All right. Don't be stingy. There's things coming your way that you're going to need a bulldozer to move for you. All right. Let's make sure when we bulldoze those things, it goes into the right hands. People that really need it. Because like this guy, Bharat, he's showing us what he did, and he didn't have no funding. He just did it. That's what I love about this guy. So, Bharat, I love you with all my heart. I think you just brought a lot of awareness to things people have been talking about for years. You did it. And boy, we are going to make it happen that it really goes strong. And myself, I will be the third in line due to the respect of engineer Mike, Marty DeGarmo. My wallets are always open to you, Bharat, to help you in anything that you come across. I'm going to be there for you. All right, everyone. And Daryl Cook, my God, how do I forget? Daryl Cook always writes the notes for Obless. All right. And I appreciate Daryl Cook more than you'll know. You guys know what I feel about him, but I love every one of you. I love you for what you do. I love you for believing in Asheville Fire's dream. And just let's get this going and do it. Don't forget tomorrow, 360 Ken Russo. Oh my God. People say, who's Ken Russo? Hopefully you're going to find out. Well, you're going to find out. I think it's at 2:00. Ash Mafar, it's a possibility. The old Ashmeister, I call him, my brother, will show up there also. We also know what he said in the back office. You also have something new tomorrow at 7:30. Yeah, I'm gonna, Julie, go ahead, tell me. Let's surprise. Tell it now, Julie. Get it out of the way. I want everybody to know.
Well, so 7:30 tomorrow Eastern time, Susie McCrae, which I call her now Susie Mafara, because Susie and Ash are like, bestest friends and twins. So I'm calling Ash McCrae and Susie Mufara. Susie and I are going to launch something called Surprise, which I won't say it until tomorrow. It will be streamed live, and if you like to watch it, it's going to be fun, valuable, and dynamic. It's what we're preparing for, and it's going to be at 7:30. It will be live streamed from all the channels. So if you would like to participate and listen, actually, if you like to listen in, please go to the top.live. That is one website that will take us to all the channels. Should I just give it? I don't know. Susie,
save it for tomorrow.
Save it. All right. I'll save it.
You said it's going to be fun, reliable, and dynamic. I didn't know I was going to be there.
It will be valuable, I promise you. When it comes to Susie McCrae, I believe she's also an educator. She's very knowledgeable on a lot of things that she does. So I'm just so happy and so honored to be working along with her. And we're going to start that tomorrow night at 7:30 Eastern time. Thank you so much.
Guys. We have some great webinars going. I know Gladys, Lynn do one. There's a lot of great webinars. I can't get to them all. It's almost impossible, but I support y'all for doing the right thing. Oh, winners, oh, heroes. We got our tech guys. We're listen, as Marty says, we're cooking with oil, baby. Get out and listen. Pick a few you like and learn, because you'll learn something from each one of them. Marty tells me all the time, we have to keep people informed and excited. And I believe that's what we're doing. So plug in once in a while. Remember, they're all recorded. They're all recorded. You can watch them anytime you want. But right now, I want everyone to give a round of applause to Bharat. Big round of applause for Mr. Bharat, who made this. I know it's very early or late in the morning for him. I appreciate it. And I'm hopefully we're going to see a lot more of this guy, because I'm going to make it happen. If you go in those bushes, Bharat, I'm a good bush follower. I'm going to go through those bushes. I'm going to find you and get you out. So everyone unmute themselves. Let's say goodbye. And don't forget about a pass at 360 tomorrow. I think you're going to be blown away 2:00.
I won't forget. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Love you.
Bye. Good night.
Bye from Canada.
Bye, Julie. Bye, Jean. Bye, John.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Good night.
Thank
you. Bye, you all, guys. Lestra, you guys all rock. Good night, Bharat. Love you.
Thank you, Bharat.
God bless
Thank you.
you.
Thank you,
Bharat.
Captain Chris. Good night, Julie.
Hey,
Boogie boogie.
Love you.
Bye, everyone. I'm going to end it.
360 live.
Have a blessed night.
Woo.
Love you, kids.